Hello, people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope that you're having a good day. And here's my second video on why doing MBBS in India does not make a lot of financial sense. I'm sorry for the change in the audio quality. I just lost one of my earphones, and this is the best thing that I have now to work with. And I'm kind of reading from my notes off screen, so I apologize for that. I'll be better in the future, but I feel that I have some important things that I need to say. I feel that there's this important knowledge that needs to be out in the world, especially for people who are about to enter into biology in the people who are in the 9th, 10th, or maybe are in 11th, 12th, or even for people who are doing MBBS and for some retrospection. I feel that I what I have to say does have its place. So, all right. So, uh, I am not exactly sure what is the number of seats right now in MBBS, but around the time of my NEET, approximately the top 5% would get into the medical colleges. And I used ChatGPT to figure out what would be the average fees in a government medical college. Of course, that varies. I am in a government medical college, and my fees was around 7.7 lakhs, just the fees for the curriculum, not including my hostel fees and everything else. But yes, okay, I study in one of the more expensive states, and there are central institutes where the fee is next to nothing. But I guess I'm trying to cater to the middle of the bell curve, where I did not perform extremely well in NEET PG, sorry, NEET UG. I I would say I had a decent rank. I had a decent state rank, and I am I'm in my college. I earned my seat, and I feel that a lot of people who go for state counseling are in the middle of the bell curve. So okay, maybe one end of the bell curve is people in the really good colleges, really good central institutes with the fees next to nothing. In the middle, people paying, I would say, around 50,000 per year. But then there are also people like me, or who are in my state, where they're paying around 7.7, and the fee is increasing by 10% by every batch. I don't know whether to call my state officials to be greedy, but okay, it is what it is. Now, yes, and the other end of the bell curve is the private colleges. I don't think I'll be talking about them a lot, but okay. Um, you know that you're going to pay around 50, 60 lakhs. That's the starting. So, yeah, getting back to the point. Yes, so you've gotten a decent government medical college. Now, of course, there is the um, fee for your education, your curriculum. Other than that, of course, you're going to buy books. If you get new books and you go to the standard, stationery shops or the bookstores in your city, in the city of where your college is located, I would say if you get all of them new, which was my approach, it costed me around 10,000 per year. Could be a little low. I also went for some standard books, but those were second hand. So I would say approximately 10,000, maybe less. But again, because of the inflation and rising costs, it is possible that you may breach that barrier. Now, that's the books. Hostels or PGs. I am fortunate that I got the hostel that I'm living in, because it has the biggest rooms in our campus, but the fee is a lot too. It's around 45,000 a year for uh, the room, and we have the permission to install ACs here. That getting an AC is a one-time payment. That's not an issue. The fee for the AC comes around to be around, I think, 25. They recently hiked it, and overall, I feel like I have paid around 70,000 uh, for the room rent and the AC fees this year. I feel that's a huge amount. Then, okay, you might go for PGs, but getting good accommodation in the same budget, say to spend 70,000 a year, meaning you would want a PG that costs you around 6,000 a month with AC. That's hard to find, especially the city that I'm living in. That's okay. Again, you can add your multipliers, zero point 0.8 times or 1.2 times. Then as soon as you get into the college, maybe not in the first year, but from the second year, there is this uh, more free time. First year, you kind of congested with exploring the college and getting into how to start studying for MBBS. In the second year, you do get some reprieve. The subjects are rather in continuation with what you learned in the first year, so it is not that steep of a learning curve. It's rather smooth. So you start to think of, oh, I want to prepare for my PG, and what people did in my college and what I did was get a subscription for NEET PG coaching, which I think it cost me around 60,000 back then, and the prices have really increased, and I feel like while you're pursuing MBBS, you can't do without these apps. Maybe get it in the fourth year, but I feel I did not really get a lot of value out of the money that I spent on these apps. And in addition to these apps, because they have this system where to protect the content, which is okay. It is their content, where it is their intellectual property. They have this thing that you can't use play their videos on your laptops or computers. You either you use them on your phone or you need to get tablets. And then there is this whole craze, the Apple craze in our country. Everyone wants an iPhone, everyone wants an iPad, everyone is crazy about Apple products. I personally am not a big fan, but okay, fine. Maybe I'm the outlier, maybe I'm the idiot. I'm okay with being the idiot. I got an iPad. Everyone around me was getting an iPad, and some people got the iPad around 70K. I think it was the iPad Air. I got the iPad Pro around 90,000 ish with the pencil. I'm not a written like notes kind of person. I write like to read directly from my books, and frankly, it was a huge waste of money. The only novelty that I gained out of that iPad was FaceTime. It's like, okay, it is unique, and but yes, other than that, you'll end up spending on your lifestyle. Maybe your mess fee is included in your curriculum fee. Maybe it isn't. Mine isn't. So I end up spending most of my money on food. Um, and yes, those expenses can range from 6,000 to say 15,000 during MBBS. I would say it can rise to a maximum of 20,000 during your internship. You'll also have this peer pressure spending where you know, there might be fancy parties, like, again, very unique to my situation in my college, my city, that birthday parties can cost up to 10,000 or maybe more. I personally haven't. It isn't that I cannot spend that amount of money. I feel it's a sheer waste of money spending so much on one birthday party. um, then yes, you have your hobbies. It is, I feel it is very important to keep yourself healthy. If you are a fan of gyms, uh, of course, then you'll have to pay for that fees. And in the internship phase, I would say that um, there is a sort of, like, okay, I am spending more money because I'm earning money, and oh, it's my right, it's the money that I've earned. There is that thing, and there's also this sort of revenge spending thing, which I feel that I see people around me doing, because the shift work, it takes a toll on you, because you're kind of used to going to classes from morning till early afternoon, at least in my colleges. So now you're working in the evening, you're working throughout the night, and you feel like, oh, I want, yeah, I've worked so much. I i want to go to a nice place. I don't want to go to the places that I used to go. I am earning now, so I will go to a very nice place. There's also the fact that your friends might be in a different batch during internship, so it's difficult to align your free times together. And when you do that, it can be a rare occasion. Maybe you're really good at getting the alignment, but yes, then you'd want to go to a nice place. You might find a partner in college, and well, yes, it can add to your expenditure. Now, coming to the stipend part of things, see, after your MBBS, some states may pay you around 10,000 or less. Mine recently hiked up the stipend to 22,000, but they kind of cheated us out on the first 3 months, because we kind of started the protest for the increment earlier, but they said, oh, okay, we are going to pass this order, and it is a prospective increase. So for the first 3 months, earlier it was going to be first 2 months, now first 3 months, we'll receive our stipend according to the previous amount, which was 15K. So 7,000 for 3 months, that's 21,000. So that's another 1 month, around 21,000, approximately 22,000. See, that is 1 month's worth of stipend that we're losing out, because again, that is how things work in our state. So, okay, it was kind of okay. Good central institutes, maybe they'll pay around 30,000, but I don't think that that barrier will exceed. I personally feel, I personally feel that we working in my college, in my hospital, we deserve at least 30,000. There's a lot of pressure there. Like, of course, there are some postings where we're not working at all and we just like sitting there, but there are postings where we barely get to sit for 10-15 minutes. There's a lot of pressure. So yes, uh, junior resident might earn from 55,000 to sub 1 lakh. In my college, it's around 70-ish, 75-ish. Um, a senior resident in my college earns around 92 to 94 or 95,000, depending on the year. And in central institutes, maybe that amount, the amount would cross 1 lakh. But then that's the top end, is the other end of the bell curve. So think about it. Now, the irony of things is that you spend 5 years doing your MBBS, which is not an easy degree. It is not full of just, oh, I'll bunk my classes, oh, I'll do nothing. You have to keep things in balance, and even if you're not studying, during the easy phases of your profs, you'll have to put in a lot of effort at the end. It kind of balances out. Okay, so you're spending 5 years for your MBBS. Maybe you'll take a drop here, maybe you won't. For your PG prep, then you get into your PG, 3 years of junior residency, 1 to 2 years of senior residency, like in my state, 1 year for AIQ students and 2 years for the state quota students. So that would make your journey to be around 10 years to 12 years, or maybe that, add the amount of years that you'll work under this bond, which fortunately my batch will not have to go through. But yes, 10, 12 years. Considering that you'll be starting at 18 years of age, it will take you around 10 to 12 years, and at the earliest, you'll be earning around 1 lakh when you're 28. Now just think about that fact. People in other streams start earning that. Maybe, yes, there are people who will earn 1 lakh rupees or just below 1 lakh rupees before the age of 23, maybe around 22, 4 years of college, after doing the BTech or whatever. Or maybe they'll get to that amount when they're 25, 26. Now, I am circling around that figure 1 lakh because, okay, wow, it's a really nice round number. But also, um, right now, the tax, you pay income tax on, more than on an income of more than 12 lakhs a year. So you kind of below the tax line, and it's not a good thing. Like, the government kind of considers you as being a person who does not earn enough. That's the government indirectly telling you, okay, oh, you need to keep that money because if we charge taxes on that amount, you'll end up with not enough money to, spend your life. Now, I personally own a Samsung flagship phone. A lot of people around me own Apple products, or maybe they also own good Samsung products, or any good, expensive phone. Also the iPads, laptops. So, an iPhone, a good iPhone would cost you around 1 lakh. iPad, again, 70 to 1 lakh. Anything else, again, everything costs around 1 lakh rupees. You want to get a scooter. Okay, we have vehicles allowed in our college. Maybe you have, maybe you don't, but eventually everyone needs a two-wheeler. I'm not even saying a car, I'm saying a two-wheeler, and a two-wheeler costs around 1 lakh rupees. Everything is 1 lakh. It costs 1 lakh. And you'll earn that money only when you're 28. Only when you're 28. So think about that fact, how crazy that is. I am not even considering the fact that you'd eventually find a partner, whether you end up marrying them or not, whatever. You want to get a house, maybe even on rent. You'd want a decent house at the age of 25, from 25 to 28. Around 28, it's a must, I feel. If you want to buy a house, it's crazy. Like, you're not going to earn that much. And yes, there will be a few people who will stand out, whose talent will stand out, whose hard work will, whose smart work would stand out, and it will help them earn a lot of money. But there is also the point of rising competition, because again, the MBBS seats are increasing like crazy. And while there are some people who do carry the sentiment of working in rural areas, I feel there are not a lot of people who want to do that. People like to stay in, the city that they came from, or a tier 2 city, or a tier 1 city, and expenses there are tremendous. So I feel, again, uh, getting your own accommodation, a house, or renting a flat or whatever, it's going to be very hard. Then you have to see this as an opportunity cost or a return on investment. I feel if maybe I haven't explained this in a very nice way that maybe a child in the ninth or 10th would clearly understand it, but I could have made it simpler. But yes, I hope some people do understand what I'm trying to say. The return on investment is not great. I feel that I could have made a better decision had had I been informed when I was young that okay, they like there are these complications. So I hope that if I was told this, I would have reconsidered. I would not go for MBBS if given the opportunity again or in another lifetime. I'm not saying that I haven't enjoyed what I've learned. I am not saying that I don't enjoy or I don't feel pride in my abilities, what I'm currently doing, which is not a lot for the patients, considering that only an intern. But yes, let's not glorify the white coat. Let's not fetishize this one degree because it is worth nothing. It genuinely is worth nothing. If you don't go for PG right after your MBBS, you might earn around 50,000, 60,000. That's the maximum that an MBBS can earn. That's on a good day in a good state, and no one is going to give you money for free. Everyone is going to ask for profit out of your work. So yes, this is what I wanted to say. um, Thank you for being patient. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll like and subscribe. I hope that you'll add your comments. I sincerely apologize for any grammatical mistakes that I've made, any oohs, ahs. I do tend to leave a lot of space between words. And yeah, again, I'm not trying to discourage people. I'm just trying to show the reality, or at least maybe I'm making these videos out of a note to my younger self. If you identify with it, that's good. If you feel that the content of this video is wrong, I'm sorry. Sorry.